all about Botox injection in strabismus. The use of botulinum toxin as an investigative and treatment modality for strabismus is well reported in the medical literature since its discovery in 1971. Out of 7 serotypes, botulinum toxin type A is the only one used in clinical practice. It is derived from a gram-negative anaerobic bacteria, Clostridium botulinum. The toxin has 3 domains. The first domain binds to receptors at nerve terminal. The vesicle enters the nerve terminal by endocytosis. The second domain helps the toxin enter the cytoplasm, and the third terminal acts as an enzyme which cleaves the snare proteins required to dock the vesicle on neuromuscular junction for exocytosis of acetylcholine. This results in flaccid paralysis of the muscle. The exact mechanism of action in strabismus is unknown, but it is believed to cause changes in length-tension relationship of extraocular muscles. Botulinum toxin has been used as a diagnostic tool in patients with diplopia and for non-surgical management of strabismus, especially in infantile esotropia and acute comitant esotropia. It is also used in management of paralytic squints and to prevent contracture of contralateral overacting muscle. It aids in the management of under or overcorrections post-strabismus surgery and acquired nystagmus. There are various techniques of injection of Botox into the muscle. Firstly, it can be injected under electromyographic guidance, which requires an EMG machine and a specialized needle for injection. A 1.5-inch 25-gauge Teflon-coated electrode needle attached to a 1 ml syringe is inserted transconjunctivally about 8 mm from the limbus. The needle is conducted to the muscle, and then the patient is asked to look towards the muscle. A characteristic cracking noise is heard, confirming the location of the needle, and then the toxin is injected. Secondly, a transconjunctival approach of direct injection into the muscle belly without the EMG machine is also advocated. However, it is a blind procedure and it may lead to inadvertent misdirection of the drug or perforation of the globe. To minimize the above complications, a third procedure of direct visualization and injection may be adopted, although it requires additional instruments to make a conjunctival opening and hook the muscle. Preparation of the reconstituted botulinum toxin. For reconstitution of the injection, a 1 ml syringe, 30-gauge needle, 0.9% sodium chloride solution, and a vial of commercially available botulinum toxin, which is marketed as Botox or Dysport, are required. Botox is available in a 50 and 100 international units pack. To reconstitute Botox, 1 ml of saline is first withdrawn in a 1 cc syringe and then injected into the 50 units Botox vial. This gives the concentration of 5 international units per 0.1 ml. Vigorous shaking of the vial should be avoided as it reduces the efficacy of the toxin. The volume of reconstituted toxin should be limited to maximum 0.15 ml in order to prevent spillage into the surrounding tissues. The dosage required per muscle depends on the amount of deviation as shown. The next part of the video demonstrates the technique of botulinum toxin injection under direct visualization. The conjunctiva overlying the muscle to be injected is anesthetized using 0.5% proparacaine drops and 2% lignocaine jelly. After application of a lid speculum, a fixation forceps is applied at the limbus to expose the fornical conjunctiva. A mini incision is made at the lower border of the muscle, which is the left medial rectus muscle in this case. The patient is asked to look away from the field of the muscle in order to relax it. Thereafter, the muscle is hooked through the incision. The desired amount of toxin is then injected using a 30-gauge needle with the bevel of the needle towards the sclera. While injecting the toxin in the muscles, it should be aimed to reach up to the mid-portion of the muscle belly, as neuromuscular junctions are located in this position. The needle has to be advanced slowly, taking the curvature of the globe into consideration and avoiding accidental scleral perforation. After withdrawing the needle, a sterile cotton-tipped bud is applied to prevent bleeding and spillover. The hook is removed and the area inspected for any bleeding. The effect of the toxin begins in 3 to 6 days and lasts for about 4 to 6 weeks. This young patient with acute right-sided lateral rectus palsy, causing diplopia, esotropia, and face turned to the right, got relieved of his symptoms following 2.5 international units Botox injected into the right medial rectus muscle. The common complication of Botox injection are inadvertent administration to surrounding tissues, including orbicularis and levator muscle, which may produce ptosis, lag of thalamus, impairment of the Bell's reflex, exposure keratitis, overcorrections or undercorrections, and accidental scleral perforation. These are transient and get relieved within a few weeks. A proper technique of injection can prevent most of these complications and provide the best possible outcomes.